Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the fuck it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut cocaine. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Fuck being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was sucking on your mama's tit.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism,
Sexism.
Much love to my loyal bitch bag holders.
Rollers, clip loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
This Oh Steve has been brought to us by Frank Williams. Oh Steve in the porn industry. What up, fellas? After listening to Thursday's episode, I got a few ideas for an Oh Steve, and when you get a chance, read and listen to the Oh Steve I sent. And it's a Steve in my bedroom. I promise I won't disappoint, but here's my Oh Steve, which I think we read that one before, but here's his new one. Aries and Andy, have you guys seen any of these pornos? Movies like There's Something in Mary, What's Dick Got to Do with It, and my favorite, Boys with the Wood. I know that sounds gay, with an all-star cast featuring girls like Angela Ass and Tits, play on Bassett, Larry Wishbone, and Neil Like Some Long, all written and directed and produced by Oh Steve. So what'd you think?
I like that they were all written and produced by Oh Steve. I did like it.
Yeah, I think with the porno thing, he was going for with the Oh Steve and Oh Steve, kind of feel. But I remember we kind of touched on something like that before. All right, so here's what I want to do, because we got a ton of emails. A lot of y'all met me on the roof like Commissioner Gordon in response to the new format. And when I say there's a ton, I mean a gazillion. So obviously, I don't know that Andy and I need to really respond a lot on what you guys are saying, because there's so many responses that are in the same vein. I mean, we probably might say something, but to give everybody the best shot we can give, because I don't know that this needs to prolong into next week's emails, because, again, they're all saying the same thing. But we want to try to get through as many of these as possible. So, again, we'll read them. Andy and I may not have a whole lot to say on it, but we do want to acknowledge your existence. Okay, there's this one I absolutely have to fucking read first, because this dude kills me. Okay, here we go. Waifu Guru TV, honest take on the pod. Hey, A&A, sorry to hear the movie got canceled, but I should have kept it real from the start, but that's not how God works. To break it down as simple as possible, you have to pay it forward, and then that nigga got you. Okay? I wish you'd have said that earlier. I swear it on my life, it's literally an exquisite club of grace and mercy. And before you ask, why is that though? Just know it's worth the sacrifices, because you never truly become perfect. And even though you will fail your trail, God will still give you what he had coming for you anyways. Take a breath, dog. And now this comes from love. My honest take on the pod. There are several factors that hold you back from growing. The intro was dope. Cutting it shorter helps, but you had to have known that a fan put it together, which a fan didn't. It was done by two rappers, popular, famous rappers back in the day. Maybe say this fact at the start of each episode. I love you, nigga, when I heard the intro change. That found out it was from a fan. Ain't nobody else doing that. Not Bill, not Kevin, not Joe. You're a real one. I see it in your bones. Now, Andy, tighten your belt, your seatbelt.
Oh, I don't care. I know where this is.
I know you don't, but this, it ain't just you. This really gets interesting. All right, he writes, Andy does nothing. I hate to say it, but you are carrying the pod with every fiber of your being. Andy needs to do something. In my opinion, Andy should be premise farming all week and shooting them across you. Or maybe he can be, Jesus, I don't know. The nigga just don't be spitting no knowledge or intriguing points or view to capture my attention or any. When it comes to this pod shit, you need a reason for people to check out each different platform for your pod. So YouTube is visual. You guys need to be showing some merchandise or souvenirs or an elbow, nigga. It don't matter. But I can listen to the pod on Spotify. You have no ads versus YouTube. But I can't tell you the amount of times I immediately checked out the same video, different platform, just so I can see what you guys are talking about. Your language doesn't really matter, but y'all some bitches. Like the reason Patrice wouldn't watch your pod is because it ain't got no bitches. If I'm going to watch you talk, nigga, you could at least be talking to some bitches getting in their head, figuring out what this fine ass slut with nice perky tits thinks about the war in Ukraine. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Number one, you later on, as I read this, you later on give Andy some love. And then you also make some suggestions as to what Andy should do to listen to you. But in the very first thing out your mouth to him, you blatantly disrespect him. You blatantly disrespect him and call him useless. And I love it when people give opinions like they're facts. Like their opinions are the only opinions that matter. Do you know how many times at our shows, people come up to us in emails, people say to us, one of the things they love about the pod is our chemistry. There are times when people have defended Andy and said, yeah, I agree with Andy on this one. Or yeah, Andy stuck his ground. Or yeah, Andy, way to tell Aries X, Y, and Z. So to just, because of your own personal distaste, try to act like that's everybody's sentiment is insane. When I can tell you from proof in emails to proof at live shows, it's completely the opposite. But, you know, you're welcome to your own feelings, but it's like, dude, this is my teammate. You defend your teammates. And it's not for the sake of just doing it. The episode from yesterday, when he talked about the state of the country and the omission of history and the American dollar being worthless and American values and the change. That's a lot of informative intellectual shit. So if you don't like caviar, just nigga put the caviar down. You ain't got to eat caviar. Go get what you want from the buffet table.
But he has a right to that opinion. I like this. I like that honest opinion. I think that it's telling, because if I haven't got to his whole email, but when you get to it, I would like to hear what the other parts of what he has to say. Listen, not everybody likes you. We're not all going to get liked and love, and that's the best part of it. That's the best part of it. So I'm happy to take it. But you know, I do like that when people go no disrespect and then disrespect you. Just leave the no disrespect out and just go, hey, meant with some disrespect, but hopefully you like some information that you could use to help you go further. But don't lie to yourself, though.
And listen, I don't want to be, as a comedian, the last thing I should be is overly sensitive, but just to make me feel a little better. When you go, but y'all some bitches, and I know you got love for us because at the end of the podcast and at the end of the email, you say so. But like that song, put some D's on that bitch. Nigga, put an LOL on that bitch. You know what I mean? Throw an LOL at the end of y'all some bitches, LOL. And then you go on to say, Patrice wouldn't watch your pod because it ain't got no bitches. So do you think, and listen, we do care about our bitch badge holders. We do care about it may not be big, but we do care about our small but mighty female demographic. And you think that they want to see that? Just a bunch of naked titty bitches just for the sake of what? And like we really want to care about with some bitch with some titties, open titties in the open, about Ukraine. We have a tough time talking about Ukraine. Let alone some broads with their titties out. Yeah, that's the way to get the women. Let me continue.
It would be the way on the road. It'd be the way to get us arrested.
Arrested? If you thought we had a tough time getting monetized on YouTube. Now we got to open up a Pornhub account
at our hotel room as we have naked women. Talking about Ukraine. I think it's a great idea. You should, you know what though, but it's wasted on us. Why don't you pitch that shit to one of the networks?
He writes, Andy, use your comedic muscles on the pod, please. Aries, you throw Allie whoops like Jordan, but you know your team ain't going to score, so you just fake it and dunk it. Actually, it's the other way around. Actually, Andy throws me the alley-oops. You set this nigga up for comedy gold, but all he can think about is the gold because he's Jewish. I see what you did there. You set this nigga up, but I can't say it anymore. Maybe you just might need to reach out and hire a writer, just someone who can put the word into joke form for you to read it on the paper everywhere. Now here, watch this. You're gonna love this part. I'll do it for $100 a week. I'll give you 10 premise with 2 jokes, each on today's hot topics. Literally, you will get the equivalent of what Bill Maher see and gets to choose from. Let me stop right there. So the dude who you just, and Andy and I, this is a partnership. It's a business. We split everything 50-50. That's $100 a week. That's $400 a month. You think this Jew is going to go into his wallet and hand over $200 and you described him as useless? As what do we need him for? Brother, what about that screams smart business savvy? All right.
And you know literally, I think we should give him the chair one day. This chair.
Let him just say fuck it.
No, let him come in. I won't even do the podcast that week. Let him do the podcast. Or give him 30 minutes on the podcast. Just 30 minutes. Let him shoot a shot.
Right. Literally, you would get the equivalent of what... Oh, I've read that part. It just came to me, and I need to put together a writer's resume, and this opportunity would be a great start. You need a Jamie, and he puts in parentheses. I don't know what that means. You need someone who can look up facts and names and titles. I hope you were just baiting for YouTube comments, but I can't tell anymore. I can do this as well for a fee. Oh, so on top of the 400, there's this. Okay. But fuck it. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll do it for free. I'll be your Jamie and feed you guys real world premises. Just let me get a writer's credit. I don't need my voice on the pod. I can feed you the info through an AI voice. I just need to be on the line while the pod is recording. I don't care when and what time. I'll be there. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Next, you are too real. You got to fake the funk. Hey, everyone, win free tickets to our show when you like or insert all social media in parentheses and share this week's episode on the Spears Steinberg pod. We are going to be, insert your dates, for a chance. One lucky winner gets 2 tickets. Watch next week's episode to see who wins. Andy can do this. What is making them tune into the next episode? What will make the go to each different platform and follow you? I just want you to have all the money, all the bitches, all the hoes, everything your heart desires. I pray you get it before me. Next, you need a Jamie because you have 0 advertisements. By the way, around this is, hey, everybody, make a clip of your favorite part of this week's episode. If you're on Spotify, give us a D&D. That's download, listen to the episode. Then if you need to make space for a new one, delete D&D. Andy can do this. This will boost numbers hugely. People want to help you bug. Don't know how. I don't know what that means. So Andy can do some new CTAs, call to actions. Cleaning up the pod, yes, it works 100%. But like the intro used to saw when he meant to say, the raw gutter, uncut cocaine. Your real fans need this. So after Steve makes the edits, you need to know where we can get this. And behind a paywall is the right move, but you have to advertise each podcast that is there. And why should we want Blue Magic if y'all don't have to be a lot of money? You can set up a paywall for $2, then talk about how cheap it is, but 2 times anything a month is a profit. But you need to have someone, brother, who knows your target audience is, who your target audience is. Do you understand that you're applying for a job and your resume is horrendous? All the typos and the grammatical errors, and you're saying, pay me and hire me. Okay, I'll continue. I can walk up to someone on the street just based off how they look and get them to become an avid listener to your pod. I do it all the time. Why Joe's podcast is the best. He writes, guests, different conversations, different perspectives, which we have guests, we have different conversations, we have different perspectives. Talk about the struggle of becoming a comedian with all comedians. Bring on specialists to talk about the things he doesn't know. By the way, Brother Rizza Islam YouTube disappeared. Not news to us. We knew that. Last but not least, this is hands down going to be the hardest for you niggas, and he writes promise, but he spells it P-R-O, literally a period, I-S-E-U. I pro-eyes you. This will make you get at least an additional 10K to 15K views per week. If you're traveling, find a nice place, a bar, a cafe, a beautiful park, a nice wall painting. Do the pod there. Get out the room. Show us what you like about each city. Why not give the place a shout out? Your content isn't bad. You aren't negative or even appearing to be intelligent enough to push an agenda or a point of view. Tell me, this has tripped me up. You aren't negative or even appearing to be intelligent enough to push an agenda or a point of view. Is that a compliment?
No, it's not a compliment, but it's not negative in the aspect that you're not trying to outwit the other side of what your conversation is about. You're just giving the information. You're talking about it. That's how I would take it from him, because I think that's what he means, because I don't think at this point he's trying to be a dick. It just sounds dickish.
Right. Okay. If enough of the world saw this, they would know it's a Jew and a jerk talking shit. You have, in my opinion, neutral markability. You already have the golden ticket to a successful pod, and he spells successful S-U-C-K. C-E-S-S-F-U-L. The consistency. Now we just need to up the product, baby. Why should someone take time out of their lives to listen to your podcast? Because right now it's a lot of your fan base. But how do we get others' fan base? The ep, we are live from the, and then he gives an example. This ep, we are live from the best steakhouse in insert random shithole. Find something to, and he puts the number symbol, that people will be searching for anyways, or a hashtag, I guess. Best steak recipes, algorithm. Here's what you need. And also the pod where Bobby Patterson is giving his review of the meats and peppers. Okay, this is the last part.
I hope so, because this is a long-ass email.
I know. Just example. This is a trial by fire. I am currently in school for my certification in Google Digital Marketing and Advertising Project Management. It would be my honor to share with my professor and classmates that my navigation helped the pod become more successful. Just take these things under consideration. I'm always here for you. I want to chat. We can do a video call or something. I ain't afraid of you motherfuckers. Sincerely, Token. So let me understand this. You think that a steakhouse or any place of business is going to allow us to set up shop without charging us, if they even give a fuck about the money? That means in order for us to do this, we have to come in before they're officially open for business so that we could set up shop in their establishment for an hour and change or whatever the time is and talk. And then if you mean during the hours of operation, then we're supposed to set up, and what do we do about noise control? What do we do about being able to talk how we talk in a room full of people that are trying to enjoy their steak tartare? And they're hearing nigga with their steak tartare. Dude, I got to give you credit. I love how you presented this like it's a 100% foolproof, guaranteed blueprint. Where has this been tested? How do you know? What guarantees can you give us of success? Or matter of fact, I'm sorry, success. What are you basing this formula off of? Well, just help him out too. Maybe he doesn't realize this. I don't know how he wouldn't realize this, but something else makes Joe's podcast really good. He does it out of a studio. His own studio. And not saying that his podcast would be
different. But if Joe was doing it out of his suitcase and he brought a little bit of equipment to the city and he did it in his hotel room in between shows, because that's how we do it. It's always been guerrilla marketing style, kind of a guerrilla podcast. How would he get that done? Now, I'm not saying we couldn't do that. We could do that. But then you change what we're doing. This was an on the road. This is where we're at podcast. I do think that the thing that Ari said about I think we should have content where we videotape us when we go out to, but we haven't even been going out to eat that much. Things have been different right now. So this is the other thing that you don't understand. We work our podcast on the road and we work to what the road gives us that week. So if we're only there for 2.5 days, we have to put the podcast in. There's no time to do a lot of the stuff you're talking about. What we should be doing, and I would agree with this, and people have been telling us this, and people said they want it, maybe we got to do this once a month, is we need to do a Sunday live podcast at the club we're at, or a Thursday, whatever day it works, in the earlier in the day, and do the podcast live and give away the tickets for free. And you still have to come out and you'll have but the club's still going to charge you for food or drinks, and you're going to have a 2-drink minimum if you're at a recognized club. That's the way this shit works. So there are obstacles to everything. And I think that you have very good points on a lot of the things that you just said. So I'm not against any of the things that you just said. You just don't understand how it works and what we're doing. Joe's podcast is awesome. I grant you that. And he can get big. But if you go back to Joe's early podcast, he wasn't getting those kind of people because his podcast wasn't big like that. So you grow and your guests grow in proportionality to your growth, to what size guest you get, unless you happen to know someone or have an in. And that's how Joe's podcast has worked this way. That's how he gets big guests. That's how everybody who grows gets bigger guests on the way. This is just the reality of this, because no one's paying for this unless we wanted to pay for guests. But there's kind of there's some other rules to this, brother. But I like your enthusiasm. I'm glad you're going to school for this. And like all things in school, there's the school and the professor's idea of how things work. And then there's the real world on how you get some stuff done. Not knocking what you're saying. I love the enthusiasm. But the fact that you don't know what I do makes me also understand that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if my 2 cents means anything, I would just say waifu or token. Going forward, if your intent is to ask someone to give you a chance at employment, don't spit in their coffee during the interview. They're not going to hire you.
Or do it Kizzy style. Do it when they're not looking.
Yeah, do a hak tui when they're not looking. But you can't hak tui in a nigga's sandwich just as he's about to bite it. Okay. Bruce Bickley. About the about the new format. Sup, Aries and Andes. Andes. I said that like Amos and Andy. Hey, Aries and Andes. About the new format. I see you made changes to the show. I'm not feeling the new opening. I do like the new closing you use to continue the conversation on the next podcast. I will say I understand what you are doing by trying to keep it 45 minutes, but other podcasts I consider faves don't cut up the conversation like that. Imagine if Gemma was giving you the ill BJ. Give me a second. Oh. All right. And suddenly she stopped and said, I'll see you next week, without finishing the job. You're opening up the bag and just feeding me one chip. It's still my favorite podcast, so I'm going to stick with it till you work this out. So much more I want to say, but I'm trying to streamline myself for the new 45 minutes. Can we do the same? Can we still do porn names? I have some. John Lick, The Italian Blowjob, starring Jason Sprays. Jason Sprays Them instead of Statham. The Fast and the Furious, starring Jason Moninha. Keep the fire going. Good one. Those were not bad, right?
No, those were good. But you know what? To his point about Gemma, you would be pissed if Gemma stopped. But you know where you would be the next week?
Where I would be the next week?
If Gemma came in, gave you half a blowjob, and then said, all right, I'll see you next week. Do you know where you'd be next week?
I'd be in heaven because it would only take me a quarter of one to come.
You would be waiting wherever she told you to be that next week. That's
you
what
goddamn right, nigga.
So, I mean, I love his example, and I understand what he was trying to say, but you don't also understand what you're saying. Yes, you would be pissed that Gemma didn't finish the job, but you would be waiting exactly where she told you to be to get the job finished. Some people don't understand that being pissed, being angry with that anger and anticipation and wanting something is your anger, but it's also what gets you motivated to do the next thing, which would be the next pod or the next blowjob from Gemma. So you're making the wrong point, not understanding what you're looking for. Yes, I understand that you didn't like it, and you got this. This is the problem with the podcast, and this is where people don't understand this. And I'm going to say this: I've already made my decision on how I want this to go. I can't have everything that I want, but here's what you're missing. You had us give you what you wanted every week, and because of the stipulations that different engines that drive the podcast have, that needed to make it beneficial, that could be more beneficial for us. You don't like it because you're not getting what you have been happy with. But not understanding that it has limited our growth in certain areas. Now, Aries and I, without your help, and I appreciate you writing in though and telling us what your opinion is, but I want to give you this. Aries and I have decided that we'd rather make no money and do the podcast the way that we want to than make...
Well, we're making some money.
Okay. Make some money, but rather do that than make more money and not give out what we want to give you. But understand though, this is your issue. When you said, I like the old podcast. A lot of people like the old things, but progress happens, change happens. There will be changes. There has to be changes. There's always going to be changes. But when you said that we're not giving you what you want now, we haven't had time to give you what you want. You just weren't getting what you were used to.
We got a lot of these.
Yeah, but that's the truth. This is what it is.
Okay. Coaches, I know you all have been watching Snowfall. I listened to one episode of the pod where you said you can't see Franklin imitating Denzel. Nigga, how can you not see the Denzel isms? Damson Idris definitely modeled himself after Denzel. In the show, Denzel is the GOAT, so why not? Incidentally, we are going to be talking about Snowfall next week. I've eaten a whole bag of chips on Snowfall, Godfather in Harlem, and I just started Mayor of Kingstown season 2. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. I do see it in his walk, but past the walk, I don't see it.
No, it's in his voice too.
Man, I don't get it.
Who's the guy who was the first one? What was the first guy's name that we read?
Bruce Bickley. Oh, Weifu?
No.
Bruce was the last one.
No. The guy, the first email that you read.
Weifu.
Weifu, and then what else did he say his name was though? He said something.
Token.
Token. Anyway, see, do you remember back when I pointed out that was very Denzel, and Aries didn't see that? Now other people said. So I just wanted to point out where I did something. Oh right. Shit! I'm done wasting time. That's something else I do. Yeah, dude. I don't know how you don't see it either. Yeah, it's so. It may not be Denzel like the impression of Denzel. But the Denzel isms, the movements, the way he tries to put words together, it's all Denzel. He's even admitted that he uses Denzel.
I mean, he can admit it all he wants. I don't see it.
Because I don't know how you don't see it.
I see it in his strut, but not past that. Nothing.
No, it's in his voice, the way he tries to put words together. It's all Denzel. It's almost like it's. I'd tell you something else someone said, but I don't want to get into this right now because it'll change the whole conversation. Yeah, it is. He's doing his impression of Denzel. I'm not saying he's doing a good Denzel impersonation. He's doing his impersonation of Denzel.
Okay. Well, any impersonation that's not a good impersonation is not an impersonation.
No, that's because you're a professional.
Goddamn right. All right, Robert Parker. Yo, cut the yayo, nigga. episode A&A. In episode 456, you discussed becoming YouTube friendly. By the end of ep 457, I felt it was clear that you guys decided against it. But at the end of 458, you guys cut the yayo. I've been a long time listener for one reason: consistency. I know the product. I like the product. I come back for more every week. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. Oh my God. Don't do this, guys. We, the loyal listeners, have been hooked on the uncut yayo from the start. Don't make me find a new plug. $10 Rob. You know, and that's some snowfall talk right there.
Yeah. But to be honest, so that people understand this, because you wouldn't know this any other way, the air was actually recorded before the episode where we tried to do it, and by the end of it, we knew this wasn't going to happen. So just to let you guys know, we knew what we were doing. We knew that we put it out this way. We knew by the time this went out, we knew when we were recording that episode that this wasn't going to work. We knew that. We did it the opposite way. How did we do it? We did the first episode, and then we did air, knowing that what we did in the first episode was what we're going to be stuck. We couldn't go backwards. We can't go backwards, and it's not. It's just who we are. We can't be somebody different. That's basically it.
Tell me like his father. Who you are? Who you are. I got problems with the commissioner, young man. Stay close to me. You know what that was from?
That's the blind, where he's blind, isn't it?
No.
What's that?
It's the most hated version of the three films.
Oh, that's from the Godfather, the third one?
Godfather 3, when Andy Garcia bites off Joey Zaza's ear. He goes, ooh, Temple like his father.
I'm going to be really honest. I've seen that once, Godfather, the Godfather 3, one time.
Yeah.
And then I've seen pieces of it since then. But yes. I read something the other day, and I'm going to watch, because it changed my perspective. I'm going to watch it again, The Godfather 3, because someone said something that made so much sense. The first two Godfathers, it's where first one especially, he is not part of the business. The second one, it's him coming into the business. Now it's the third one where the business is surrounding him and he's just part of the business. And that's why I didn't enjoy the second one, because it's a complete departure from the first two. And I didn't think about it that way. I wasn't living in the existence that now this is who he actually is. So anyway, sorry about that. Sorry I went on a little run. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Godfather 3 again.
Yeah, I love the first 20 minutes of it. And then after that, it kind of just loses me.
I'm going to watch it again just to see. I want to give it another shot because I love Godfather 1 and 2 so much.
Okay.
Yeah, and to his point, yeah, we just recorded them out of order the way we put them out. We knew it.
Antonio Parker. Change the pod. Come on, A&A. You about to mess the podcast up talking about paying like Versus did when they started trying to get people to pay for it. I like the outro with Robert De Niro, but the 48 Hours guy is classic, LOL. All the podcasts that are successful, they interview people, guests/celebrities, or they have controversy. That stuff sells.
Oh, we've had controversy.
Oh, we stew in controversy. We are draped in fucking controversy. Yeah, and we occasionally have guests too.
And it's you guys have to understand, and just so I'm saying this again, we do this on the road. This podcast that's part of it. It's the two comedians on the road talking about what's going on in their lives or what we've hung out, what we saw, what we try to bring to you guys. But this is not in studio where we can say, hey, we're going to be here, come to the studio at whatever, and let's record a podcast. We're on the road. That's why Godfrey was so good, because Godfrey's a road comic and he came in as part of the road and we did that stuff together because it was comics getting together to do something that we're going to enjoy while we're on the road. Because we have a
comic camaraderie.
Yeah, we just have a lot of downtime on the road. So that's what this is for.
just my shit.
What are you doing? Building a car right there? Rebuilding the car?
My shit's fucking up. What the fuck, you cocksucker?
That was part of Godfather 3 right there. What the fuck, you cocksucker?
The fuck, you cocksucker. From my man Tim Doyle. Hey, yo, what's up, guys? I just want to say thanks for the pod every Wednesday and Thursday. I know I've got something. Help me along with the cards I've been dealt. Your back and forth banter is top notch. You guys are a highlight of my week. Thanks, Tim Doyle. Hey, Timmy, I know I haven't talked to you, brother, in a long time since you went through what you went through. Please know I still love you. I hope all is well. I know you're dealing with something so incredibly difficult. I'm there for you anytime you need me. You got my number. I miss you. Chad misses you. Carlos misses you. I know you with what you're dealing with. The last thing you're thinking about is Call of Duty. But you know, whenever you feel back to normal or back right, we there for you, brother. So much love to you, man. I hope you well. And Andy shares that sentiment. He gives his love to.
I was going to say something, but it turned into a Call of Duty group that I'm not part of because I don't play that. So yes, obviously, I appreciate the people who appreciate us, and when you're going through it hard, man, we're always there for you. But I'm not one of your Call of Duty. I'm not wearing the Call of Duty uniform. I don't play the game, so I stayed out of it.
This next one is from it's not my mom, but their email name is Your Mom. And they simply write, be you, don't sell out. That's their email.
It's great. It's a great email. It's a great email. Be you, don't sell out. The other email is get that bag.
Sell out.
So which you know, I'm just doing the isms now. Be you, don't sell out. Get that bag. Sometimes there's an in-between in there. That's the way that it works. I've already made a decision of what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to say how complicated shit is. How's that?
Welcome to my life. CJ Donovan for the raw and uncut. What's up, ANA? Please don't change the format and potency. YouTube, Spotify, and most streaming platforms are so oversaturated with people doing the same and similar things. Keep the raw, uncut cocaine. Based on the analytics that you all shared with us, it seems like you get more traffic when you cross-pollinate with other celebs. Since you travel from city to city, I believe that if you reached out to other celebrities and local social media stars, it would be beneficial. Thanks for keeping me company 2 days a week. CJ. You got it, bro.
See, now that's a good idea. I never thought about other social media stars, but I don't know that social media stars are going to jump on our podcast, though, either. Comics will.
Maybe.
Every comic. I'll talk to you about some of that stuff later, though.
All right. Taekwon Adams. Family friendly / next day air. Yo, what's up, Spears and Steinberg? Haven't emailed in a while. Just wanted to say that when I heard all the extra editing on the YouTube videos, it was kind of disappointing because I typically listen to the new episodes on YouTube and the really old episodes on Spotify. But I understood why y'all did it. I'm a traditionalist, so I love it the way it always been. I also wanted to ask, have you ever watched the movie Next Day Air? The movie has Omari Hardwick, Wood Harris, Mike Epps. That was the role that 50 Cent saw that showed him Omari could play Ghost. The role damn near felt like a prequel, even though it was not. If you haven't watched, it's a cool, gritty gangster movie. I hope I didn't get a $10 a lot of money because I reread this before I sent it. But if I did, suck my dick so much. No, you didn't get one, brother. Yeah. You know, I saw pieces of Next Day Air, but I didn't really see it. So I have to put that on my to watch list.
I don't remember if I seen that or not. I thought I did.
Saw. It's Saw, brother. You said seen.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, you got to say, I don't remember if I saw that, not seen.
Okay.
The black man corrects the white man.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You can correct me a lot on my English.
Ant Johnson. Thoughts on YouTube episode. Peace, peace, peace. Don't dumb down your craft for those chumps. Give us the raw, and it puts in parentheses, no homo. I understand the move to make it clean for increasing your views and trying to make that chicken. But at the same time, it takes away from what sets you guys apart from everyone else. This YouTube family episode felt forced, as if the massa, puts in parentheses, YouTube, had his whip out and ready to get y'all two unruly slaves in the line in the moment you slip up. You's gonna gets me in trouble, Andy. Gets from round here with that cussing, airy slave voice. Had you out here singing nigga, LOL, that's hilarious. Also, the time restraint prevents everything from flowing natural and organic. But like I said, I understand the move to be a cleaner, friendlier version of the pod to increase views and make more bread. I would just prefer you guys to keep it real as it's been. All right, my G's, those are my thoughts on the matter. This is the best podcast out in my books. Love, Aunt Johnson. Well, I thank you there, Aunt. That's how I feel, sir. Anything on that, Andy, or no?
No, man, I love Ant. And
like I said, we're going to be saying the same shit.
So I don't want to say the same thing. The music thing was me, though, also. So I'm only saying that because I don't do anything on the podcast. So the idea of singing it was me. So I don't do shit, though. So, whatever, man.
Between the fact that you don't do shit and all we talk about is sports, comedy, sports, we're just like fucking useless.
Yeah.
Fucking them two should sit in the same van and drive off a cliff.
You know what we should do? I like this idea this is the new podcast. You ready? What it is, we eat and we tell everybody where we went to go eat, right? And then once we start talking, we start farting. But what we do is we bring in girls naked and we fart in front of them until one leaves. And who's ever fart caused them to leave is the winner of the podcast that day. That takes you. I'm just trying to make this dude at the beginning happy that I can't remember his fucking name again already. I want to make him happy. Naked women farting, and let's double the amount of intro music that we have to make that happen.
If we specifically make them white girls, we can fart in their mouths.
Why white girls only fart? Oh, why
because ain't no black chicks or Mexican chicks, Hispanic chicks letting you fart in their mouths. No. White girls will let you fart in their mouth.
But some Mexican chicks might fart back at us.
I don't mind that. That's called foreplay. Aromatic foreplay. Look, if two white bitches could eat shit out of a cup, we can fart in their mouths.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's a video that's on a reel where this guy farts on this dude's face who's sleeping. Like he just farts on his face, and the dude goes and throws up. He's still asleep. He never woke up. He just threw up.
He just throws up?
He just throws.
Ugh. I'm going to break up the monotony for a second. Dominique Davis, fuck out of here with sweet and low grits. Yo, A&A in the AM, PM if you're nasty. I like that. I like that.
I do too.
I'm from the SIP. And I think when he says SIP, he means Mississippi.
Mississippi, yeah.
I'm from the SIP. Born and raised, and no one, I repeat, and he puts in caps, no one in my family put sugar in their grits. That's fucking blasphemy. Now, oatmeal is a different story, but grits, nigga, fuck out of here. Keep rocking, you guys. No matter what obstacles are being put in your way, you have a cult of us that will follow you into battle like the Spartan salute. Are you ready for war? Dying in your beds so that you can say they may take our lives, but they won't take our freedom. What are you going to pick a fight? Well, I guess we didn't get dressed up like this for nothing. All right.
So would you ever consider, I'm just saying this because grits are very like, the shrimp grits, all the grits, the high, like restaurants, You would never do a dessert grit?
What the fuck is a dessert grit?
With maybe something that had some sweetness and like a maple syrup, maybe almost like maybe a sausage. Like, how you talked about like when syrup gets on your sausage?
Right.
Breakfast sausage.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that. There's a dude who I fuck with on Instagram, and his whole thing is he just tastes and rates foods. they made I don't know who the fuck thought this up. They made a ranch flavored ice cream.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff.
Let me ask you, what do you think would be more disgusting? Ranch flavored ice cream or grits flavored ice cream?
Well, grits by itself without salt in it doesn't really have that much flavor. Depending on what you cook it with, it is where the flavor comes in. Grits has texture, and it has a slight flavor, but it enhances what it's with. Not grits flavored ice cream, but I don't see what you'd get out of it.
Right. Well, I guess it would be sweet if you loaded it with the sugar.
Yeah, it did some. But there's also like people have been making avocado ice cream is a big one right now.
Oh God. Are you serious?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, we're wilding. These are the end days.
I you know what? I was just talking to someone about this, and I only need vanilla and chocolate. I'll take the other flavors, and I know they're good. Right. There's a lot of good flavors out there. But, if you have to go on a journey and you had one ice chest, vanilla and chocolate's all I'm grabbing and I'm going.
Let me tell you something. You can't go wrong with Haagen-Dazs vanilla, which is my number one. Chocolate, strawberry, cherry vanilla.
I love
with
that.
Them chunks of cherries in it.
Yeah, the Cherry Garcia.
And my other two favorite is cookies and cream.
Not my favorite.
Vanilla fudge, the mixture of chocolate and vanilla.
I like that too. But if you gave me vanilla and chocolate and said, you can only have two flavors for the rest of your life, what are you taking?
Vanilla.
I'm taking vanilla.
Always go with that white woman, nigga.
Well, you can put other things in the vanilla too.
Nah, man, go with the pure white woman.
Vanilla and chocolate, that's all I'm grabbing. Because I
want the kind of white woman that when I fuck her and she comes, she sings that Mississippi Dixie song. What's that song called? Something Dixie?
No idea.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dixie.
Oh, Dixie. Oh, Dixie. That's the type of white woman I want. When I'm pumping away, she just starts singing Dixie.
That's what it is. It's just called Dixie, right? Because they used to say Whistling Dixie. So. Whistling Dixie.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not from the South, man.
I want a woman so white that when I fuck her, outside my window is 100 white dudes with tiki torches screaming, "Jews will not replace us." Danny Malone, nonconformity. Yo, what's up, A&A? Listen to me, brothers. Do not conform the narrative. As I listened to the pod, you guys had a little anguish in your voices. You were answering all of your own questions, trying to figure out this social media audience. Change is pain, no matter what you're trying to do. As you've noticed, we're currently living in a world of virtual insanity where being original is all we have, brothers. In my opinion, I don't think you should change the format you have. There are a lot of loyal listeners out there, and I am one of them. Stay the course and keep that uncut yayo coming, brothers. Peace to the pod, Jew and the Jerk, from Danny Malone. Appreciate you, Danny. I feel you, Danny, with that nonconformity. Like somebody said, stop the shenanigans. I feel you, Danny.
I like the word shenanigans.
Yeah,
he's right, and I like that I like that someone finally said that they heard us in it, going, fighting it, because that's what we were doing.
Couldn't fight it. I can't fight this feeling anymore. Was what I forgot fighting for. All right. Throw the ship into the shore. Grab the oar forever. All right.
I don't even know these songs.
They played that in air.
I know they did, but I don't know that song. When they told you.
You don't know that one? I can't fight this feeling?
I know the song. I don't know the words.
Apparently, I don't either.
You got the oars, let go of the oar.
I remember that part.
I didn't even know there was oars in the song until you started singing it afterwards.
Right. Jamal Williams, Aries and Eric's nigga. I hope this gets read. But anyway, after listening to this week's podcast, fuck the rules, the critics, and the algorithm. I'm from that era that drew me to y'all from the jump. And I feel like if you have to change who you are, then who are you? I like that. I respect y'all, but I see a conflict because Andy wants to be bigger, but I do too, but doesn't want to comply. I think he meant to say me. While you want to be bigger, but not at the risk of complying. Oh, well, maybe he did mean what he meant. And would pull a Chappelle for the culture. Either way, I hope y'all figure this out because it seems like you both found that perfect niche to make it work. With that said, keep those Peruvian flakes coming, and much love from the NC. Yeah, baby, we're trying to keep you junkies shot up.
I like just because they don't know me. I'm doing it. Like I'm out here doing it because I'm just here for the money. Or how do you say? Yeah, that's not it. But I understood what you were saying. But yeah, no, we have to discuss it. This is something that's on the table that we have to discuss. And we took a shot at it and we saw what it looked like.
Yeah, conversation is good, man. It's healthy.
And it also makes you guys realize that this may be the outpost that does this. And that's maybe because we talked about it, more people will see it. It's a very, it's not that complicated. We put something out to show, basically we all just saw what it would be if it was the same shit everybody else was doing.
Deron Ross, what up? Said to say that I've caught, meant to say sad. $10, a lot of money. God damn, in the first 3 words. It's like I robbed you. Give me your $10, nigga. Sad to say that I've caught up to the current episode, so now I have to wait for new ones every week. It's cool and all, but I've gotten used to listening back to back, enjoying my big ass bag of chips. But he writes OG instead of OF. I'll hit you up on Instagram, but I think I fucked up by sending you dumb shit like the albino Jamaican with the bug booty. LOL. It's all good though, my dude. Speaking on the last episode about the YouTube thing, what I love about you and Andy, what up, Andy, my Jew nigga, is that it was uncut and everything was on the spot. I know I'm just one person, but I know I'm not alone. To be honest, I would love for you guys to say fuck it and keep it A1. I also don't want y'all to miss out on any and everything that can be that you can achieve by trying new things to reach more people. It's funny though how YouTube can have nigga this and nigga that all over it, but for you guys it's somehow different. I don't think it's just for us. I just think that we abused the privilege. I abuse.
Okay. Right. I say fuck too much, but that's my and I've said too, I talk the way I grew up in, like, I
got a joke real quick. I got a joke.
Go ahead.
What does the nigga say just before they put the rope around his neck?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck. All right, go ahead with your story.
I worked in a bar forever. Fuck was like, it was necessary to say it when you work in a restaurant, in a bar setting. And you're up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every night. Fuck is what you said. Fuck is what you wanted to do after work. Fuck is just, that was the word.
I'm sure you'll find a way around it. And whatever that way is, nigga, I'm a follow. I wasn't there from day one, but I've listened to the pod from the beginning. So I guess I kind of am. The name is D. Ross from Houma, Louisiana. Yeah, nigga, that's South, LOL. This is my first time writing an email. Writing an email in, but it won't be the last. God bless the both of y'all on everything. And not time I write, I'll have riddle for you with the answer to the next day. Peace, my boys.
Thanks, man.
Incidentally, let me just say, my battery on my phone just turned red. I'm down to 20%. So if I should completely cut out on y'all like The Sopranos last episode, just know I wasn't assassinated. The creators just decided to let you guys guess what happened.
Well, we're almost wrapping up anyway. What do we got?
Yeah, we are. Well, let me see something. What time? How much time we got? We started at 11:21. It's 12:12. So we got 9 minutes. Angel Afaro. Fuck analytics. I had to stop the Experiment podcast to say just basing it on analytics, you guys are going to lose fans. All the best podcasts are an hour or longer. Where is Andy getting this half hour from? Analytics ruin basketball. Hopefully it don't ruin this great basketball. This great podcast. I don't know why I said basketball again.
I like that when something's wrong, it's where's Andy getting this? Aries, you would never find it. It's just Andy finding this stuff.
And apparently, based on Weifu, you don't even do that.
I don't even do that. Man, there's an algorithm in this business that is keeping other people from being seen when they go over a certain amount of time. So that's part of it. You're getting it and you're enjoying it, but you've been here, so you're enjoying it. There's other people who don't know about this shit, but because it gets. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the algorithm and to that. I understand what they're trying to do. What Aries and I are after is trying to figure out a way to do it in the way that we do it without cutting it, without ruining it, but also to try to bend that algorithm to work for us. That's the key. I don't want to change anything. I can't change anything. It's not like you heard us by the beginning of the episode. No matter how much we wanted to try, by the end of the episode, it was over. There was no experiment. The experiment was a failed attempt. It wasn't an experiment. It was a failed attempt.
All right. Let me read this last one, and then we are mañana. Where was it? God damn it. Where the fuck was it? Fuck it. I'll read this one. Mike Cooper. But the analytics. What's up, SNS? Listening to this family-friendly episode. And then he writes in all caps with 15 O's. Boo! I'll start by saying I listen on Spotify, so my opinion might not mean shit. I mean, doo-doo, shake my head, whatever. Hearing Andy speaking about analytics makes me cringe. It's not his fault, though. He's just reading the numbers, but hearing Aries even entertain the numbers is funny. I figured you would learn from being a 90s NBA fan. The game became soft and watered down once everybody stopped using their eyes and ears and only rely on numbers. Don't go out bad like that. Numbers matter, of course, but don't let them be a crutch. Michael Cooper.
Michael Cooper.
I hear you, Mike.
It sounds like he played basketball. It's Mike Cooper.
Oh, Michael Cooper. That's right.
Yeah. See? The analytics. So see, this is what we're when you guys. I love the analogy because they keep saying basketball. You could have said baseball. All those start to use analytics to plug in players. We're not in control of what they do with the analytics, though. You guys, they basically push us back so that we're not found. That's what happens with the analytics. You're thinking it was like we were to try to fix the analytics in our favor. We just want people to hear our podcast. There's a difference. So the analogy sounds good, but that's not the right analogy. We're trying to get heard. That's all. Now, how we can do it? Everybody said that what they don't want. How do we fix it? I got some ideas. Aries has some ideas. You guys have some ideas. We know that is not the right.
Weifu got the fucking bulletproof, 100% fail-proof plan, though.
Yeah. He's the only one that had an idea. And that's why I didn't shit on him as much as I wanted to, because he actually did come at it at a point like, okay, I understand what you're saying. How do we get what we want out of it as well? So I appreciate everybody who wrote in. I appreciate your feelings. Here's my question. How do we get what we want out of it, though?
You know, based on what Weifu said, I got 3 ideas right off the top. We should do the podcast from inside 3 vehicles while they're in motion. An ice cream truck, an ambulance, and a cop car. We should be in the back of the car with the suspect handcuffed in the middle and me and you as the bookends while the sirens are going off. We should do the podcast with a rapist or a murderer and just ask him how he feels about Ukraine.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Or we're in the back of an ambulance while somebody is hemorrhaging eternally from the inside, and they're on their way to death. And we talk about sports and ask them who they think is the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan. Or we do it in the inside of an ice cream truck while the Mr. Softy music is playing. And for some unexplained reason that makes no sense, it's me, you, and a homosexual. And we're all eating soft serve ice cream.
And describing the texture.
Yes, and talking about texture and the gooiness and the softiness of it.
Okay, wait. I'm going to come from a different point of view because what's his name again? The guy.
Weifu.
Here, because coming from his perspective, here's how I think we should do it. And I agree that he has. Wait, this is not fucking with you. This is the idea that how you're talking when you tell me things. This is how I hear it. We should just get a jet, dude. Private jet, right? You come pick me up, or I come pick you up, depending on where we're playing, right? And then we fly to the city, and we do it in the air, but we just have him on the ground, right? And we link up with him through our computer systems from the jet to his house, and he listens to the podcast. He doesn't have to come because he wants to be able to do all those other jobs because he's not making enough money with 400 and the other change. So I don't want him to have to leave every week and be in the plane with us. He just fucking patches in and he listens to the podcast. And then when I forget a name, he tells it. He tells me the name, or he brings up some current events like how we shouldn't be, whatever the current event that he wants. And then he gives us the background information while we're flying. And then we patch into CNN. And we verify with them, and then we come back on and we just talk about our podcast. I think that's the plane. I think if we did that, we wouldn't even worry about the money. We would just do the podcast on the plane.
We should be the Spears and Steinberg podcast meets Fear Factor.
Okay.
We base jump off a building in New York City. And we talk to each other on the way down. And as we pull our chutes, it'll slow us up so that if between the jump and the landing is how long the podcast will be.
Okay, I got a better one, though. This one's for real. This is for real. I'm not fucking with anybody. This is for real. This is how we do it. We tell everybody the name of our guest, the guest that we would like. And we actually dial them up on the podcast. And then we dial them up and go, hey, man, do you want to do our podcast? They hear the people say, nah, man, we don't have time to do the podcast. We can't do the podcast. We're not coming over to do the podcast. Where are you doing the podcast at? Nah, I can't make it. And then we go, okay, well, thanks for being our guest today. And then we hang up the phone. And then they got the guest that they say that's the integral part of making the podcast work. Right. We name them as our guest, but they can hear how we can't get the guests on the podcast because they're not going to go to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and go stay at the whatever hotel that was in Fort Wayne to come over and do our fucking podcast while we're on the road. How's that? I
think we nailed it. I'm telling you, I think we fucking nailed it.
Okay, and when they tell us no, then we get on the tallest building, like you said, we base jump off it. That's the length of the podcast after the phone call.
There you go. There you go. I like that.
I think that's a great idea. Guys, I love you guys. Seriously, I do. I've said this before, man. I just did a live. I was on IG. I did a live when I was over by the water. I was having a nice day. I want to put out some nice vibes. And so I said how I wanted to show how nice it looked because it was a great day in Jersey and you could see the city really well. And it was like 70 degrees. And I don't know, I didn't say anything to anybody. I just jumped on, and within about 3 minutes, we had like 25, 30 people on. And I was really happy with that because, like I said, no one knew I was going to come on. And I was only on for a few minutes, and I got a bunch of people, and we just had a little conversation and did that. So I mean it. It is heartfelt. I really appreciate the people who listen to the podcast. I appreciate the people that pay any attention to me whatsoever, that I really don't, I don't see myself as doing anything. I feel like the guy. I'm not doing anything. But I appreciate that the people are listening, and you do have constructive criticism for us on what we were just going through. So I mean it sincerely. I didn't want to hang this up as I made fun of all this and just be like, I appreciate you, motherfuckers. I really do.
I'll kick you out some dates.
Why do you think that's so funny?
No, I'm laughing at the fucking the base jump and
the base jump. I love the base jump
and the ambulance and the soft serve ice cream with the homosexual.
But it's before someone writes in with this next week, we could do cartoons of that, Aries. We could do cartoons of that. We could
that would be absolutely hilarious as a cartoon. So
we could do it as a cartoon. I just want to say it so no one has to write in and tell us we could do that as a cartoon. Because we believe it or not, guys, we have thought of some things on that we would do if we could do them. But there's obstacles to some of this. Anyway, we're going to be in Arlington. You're listening to this. We're at Arlington. You're listening to this. If you're listening to this Thursday, if you're a real one and you're on this shit on Thursday,
day one,
we're going to be in Arlington Thursday, April 27th through the 30th. We're going to be in Arlington, Texas. That's right next to Dallas. We're going to be right there in that area. If you live anywhere in the Dallas area, you can come on over. You can see the show. You can come up to us. You can tell us your ideas of what you think we should do on the podcast. May 5th through the 7th, we're going to be at the Cleveland Improv.
Just a bit outside.
Like the timing.
Some farts come a little bit later.
It was later? Okay. Because it was a fart. I got you. Okay. May, we're going to be, we have an intermittent, we don't actually have our May schedule all completely done. So hit up ariesspears.com, which is live. Everything's back to normal. And you can check out if any new dates pop up there in May, it'll be on there. Otherwise, we're going to be May 25th to the 28th. And at one of I like the Helium Portland. We haven't been to Portland in a while, so looking forward to being back out there at Helium Portland. And then June 1st to the 3rd, we're going to be at Cobb's Comedy Club back in
San Francisco. And I'm going to lick soft serve ice cream off Andy and Aries' chest. from inside of Mr. Softy ice cream truck.
June. Wait a minute. I got to get myself back together after that. June 9th to the 11th. I'm not in the right place, not in the right frame of mind. June 9th to the 11th, we'll be back in Pittsburgh at the Improv in Pittsburgh. Going to look forward to that. And since, everything we're talking about, I think I'll go hit up the Warhol Museum then while I'm out there too.
And I'm going to put chocolate ice cream on Andy's open naked chest and vanilla on Aries' open naked chest. Get it? The white guy has black cream and the black guy has white cream.
Didn't need that.
All right, we got another music guest. Goes by NVZBLHND, Invisible Hand. Instagram, NVZBLHND. Twitter, same thing. TikTok, same thing. And you can check them out on YouTube at youtube.com. NVZBLHND. Song is called Lord Knows. Ooh, I got a belch, nigga. We out.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, it was hosted by Aries Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.